Welcome tycoons. Today in this video, we will be taking a look at 7 best books for investing money for aspiring billionaires. Now before we get into the video, if you are new, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and leave a comment below, saying, "I subscribed." And we will do our best to personally reply to your comments. Disclaimer: it's important to note that we are not financial advisors and you should do your own research when picking stocks to invest in. These are just some of our viewpoints. By no means would we recommend watching one YouTube video and then immediately buying that stock. This video was made for educational and entertainment purposes only. Consult your financial advisor. Here in Project Billionaire, we inspire and give value to future great magnates. I've read a ton of books on investing in personal finance over the past 3 years. I'll now list the investment books in this video that, in my opinion, will be most helpful to your stock market adventure. To help you decide which order to read them in if you are relatively new to the world of investing, I will also rank them from easy to follow to more difficult to understand. Here are the books that will be covered. Without further ado, let's dive deeper into each one of them. This is Project Billionaire, bringing you the best tips and tools for reaching financial freedom through stock market investing. Number 1. The Little Book That Beats the Market, which is ranked top on the list and which I believe every newbie investor should read, is the first book you should read. Joel Greenblatt, the manager of Gotham Funds, a hedge fund with $5.6 billion in assets under management, is the author of the book, which was initially published in 2006. Do not be misled by the book's 112 pages, it is worthy of its title. The Little Book That Beats the Market reveals what is probably my favorite stock screening strategy: the magic formula. The magic formula finds stock picks by looking at 2 important performance indicators: returns on assets or capital, and the price/earnings ratio or earnings yield. In an incredibly clever and humorous approach, Joel Greenblatt explains why these 2 KPIs are crucial for successful stock market investment. I have been laughing hard while reading the book since it is so outrageous and direct at points. And let me tell you, that is pretty unusual for a book on investments. This book is quite entertaining to read because it is roughly 60% educational and 40% humorous. I should mention that the Magic Formula screener can be found and used for free at magicformulainvesting.com as an additional resource. Number 2 on the list is also a more easygoing book, and it's called One Up on Wall Street, and is written by Peter Lynch. The book, which has 334 pages, is definitely longer than The Little Book That Beats the Market, but it's still a very simple read. This passage from the book served as somewhat of a wake-up call for me, since it suggests that you should use what you already know to succeed in the stock market. In general, if you polled the shoe store owners, more would be invested in aerospace than in shoes, while the aerospace engineers are more likely to dabble in shoe stocks. Why it is that stock certificates, like grasses, are always greener in somebody else's pasture, I'm not sure. The book's chapters 8 and 9 are its best moments. In chapter 8, Peter Lynch talks about the 13 characteristics of a 10-bagger, which he uses to describe stocks with a potential gain of tenfold. He highlights 6 characteristics of the reverse 10-bagger in chapter 9, referring to stocks that are destined for the trash. Some of the characteristics of a 10-bagger which he lists in chapter 8 are quite funny and a bit counterintuitive, such as: the institutions don't own it, and the analysts don't follow it. It's in a no-growth industry. And best of all, there's something depressing about it. After you've read and understood The Little Book That Beats the Market and One Up on Wall Street, you're probably ready for number 3 on this list, the University of Berkshire Hathaway. One of the biggest publicly traded firms in existence is Berkshire Hathaway, which is of course owned by Warren Buffett. The title of this book is very suitable considering that the author Daniel Picott has spent almost 30 years attending Berkshire Hathaway's annual shareholder meetings when Warren Buffett and his right-hand man Charlie Munger talk about investment. The book is a compilation of these 30 years. Or, on occasion, they are simply really direct, which is also nice. Like when Charlie Munger is questioned about his thoughts on the gap figure EBITDA that appears in the income statements of stock market businesses. Yeah, I think you would understand any presentation using the word EBITDA, if every time you saw that word you just substituted the phrase, *T earnings. The University of Berkshire Hathaway contains highlights of the annual shareholder meetings from 1986 to 2017 in the form of notes. This book compresses the same material in just 10 pages. The fourth book that I would recommend anyone to read is Philip Fisher's book Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits. Warren Buffett is frequently credited as being 85% Benjamin Graham and 15% Philip Fisher, and Buffett was strongly motivated by this book, which dates back to 1958. Even though the book is only 200 pages long, it has a few challenging lessons. Although they are not more technically or mathematically challenging than anything you'll find in the previous 3 books, putting them into practice can be hard. One of the book's high points is the section where Phil Fisher explains how individual investors may conquer Wall Street by using resources from the real world. He suggests that serious investors research potential investments by talking with the company's competitors, suppliers, customers, and former employees. According to him, you could get a clear image of who the strongest player in the market is if you spoke with the top 5 businesses in a specific industry and had them each comment on the other 4. Number 5 on this list is The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. It's a fact that we can all agree upon, it had to be included on this list. I mean, I'm not really unbiased, you know. Warren Buffett learned value investing from Benjamin Graham, who is known as the father of value investing. His most well-known book, The Intelligent Investor, isn't necessarily the most comprehensive, in fact, I'd challenge that. The book has 3 core messages. Intrinsic value, a stock is a piece of a business, which means that it has an intrinsic, or real, value. Mr. Market, the stock market swings from too pessimistic to too optimistic. A true investor does not let Mr. Market's erratic moods affect their decisions and just views price swings as opportunities rather than as a source of information. Margin of safety, always make choices with a margin of safety built in while dealing with the stock market. Therefore, you should insist on buying shares at a discounted price to their fundamental, or true, business worth. So those are the key takeaways. The 6th book is titled The Essays of Warren Buffett, which was compiled by Lawrence Cunningham from all of Berkshire Hathaway's annual shareholder letters and organized and structured into a book. The letters in this book were written by Buffett himself, and it was released in 1997. The book has 328 pages, yet there is a ton of content. Buffett discusses a wide range of topics, including what it takes to become a great investor, mergers and acquisitions. In this book, Buffett demonstrates his remarkable abilities as a writer, educator, and investor. Even while he makes every effort to communicate his ideas to a more inexperienced audience, there are moments when it merely demonstrates how far ahead of the game his thinking is and makes it challenging to understand some of the concepts. And for the final pick among my 7 best books about investing, we have Security Analysis, also written by Benjamin Graham. Even though The Intelligent Investor has garnered more traction, in my opinion Graham's magnum opus is Security Analysis. Simply put, it has a lot more information. And that 851 pages in all, divided into 52 chapters, that makes perfect sense. Everything will be covered, including the psychology of investing, various types of assets, financial statements, portfolio structuring, and stock market movements. In the event that you choose to purchase the book, I do suggest getting the 1942 edition. A number of the later editions of the book seem to have slightly misrepresented Graham's words, while this edition offers many excellent examples. The importance of current asset values in listed market companies is discussed in Chapter 43. The essential component for screening for net stocks, as Benjamin Graham was famous to do, is this. Don't buy companies that are likely to fall into financial difficulties, buy those that already have. And there you have it. The little book that beats the market. One Up on Wall Street. The University of Berkshire Hathaway. Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits. The Intelligent Investor. The Essays of Warren Buffett. Security Analysis. Let us know in the comments if you want us to dive deep into these books that we featured today. Hope we were able to give you valuable input and help you get to the next step in becoming financially free. We wish you the best of luck everyone and hope you can get those high investing returns. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like the video. Until then. We'll see you in the next one.